All right, guys. So the Trump Glazers and meat riders have hit new revolting levels of humiliation. So let me share this with you here. First of all, we have Representative Darrell Issa comes out and says, "Today I will nominate Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. No one deserves it more." So, I mean, shit, I could talk about this one alone for an hour, but the levels of cuckoldry, it's record-breaking. It's earth-shattering. Here's a guy who, since the first day he got in office into now, a little over a month ago, how many countries has he threatened or actually bombed? He literally bragged about bombing Somalia the other day, totally illegally. There's no constitutional authority to do that. They use some bullshit loophole where they say, oh yeah, it's part of the war on terror to bomb Somalia. Somalia had nothing to do with any attack against the United States. Really? That's the argument? Bragged about bombing Somalia, threatened Panama, saying we're going to steal it. Greenland, saying we're going to get a quote one way or the other, which is a direct threat. Canada, saying you're going to be our 51st state. Mexico already signed an executive order declaring the cartels terrorist organizations again, so he can invade Mexico without Congress if he wants. Just bypass Congress completely. Who cares about a vote? Right? Airstrikes, boots on the ground. Literally, they want to do war with Mexico. Iran told Israel you can attack Iran and we'll get your back. Also might partake in that. And he says we're going to own Gaza, steal Gaza, own Gaza, build casinos and hotels on the beach. He tweeted an AI video the other day with golden statues of himself in the middle of Gaza, even though he also said we're going to ethnically cleanse Gaza and not allow Palestinians back in. Nobody is a bigger warmonger. Guys, he did a deal with Ukraine, demanding 50% of their natural resources from now until forever. That's economic colonization. So in other words, Zelensky and Ukraine are stuck between a warmonger imperialist who's literally trying to take over the entire country, that's Vladimir Putin, and a warmonger imperialist who's economically colonizing them, that's Trump. There has never been a bigger warmonger. And by the way, I didn't even say anything about Trump's first term, which was wall-to-wall warmongering, right? This mythology that, oh, he ended wars, he didn't. Nonsense. Do you have no idea what he did in his first term foreign policy-wise? I mean, they tried to do a coup of Venezuela. Openly tried to do a coup of Venezuela. How the fuck is that peaceful? Killing Qasem Soleimani in an illegal drone strike. How is that peaceful? Nearly sparking a broader war with Iran. Right? Now, I can go on, but I'm not going to rehash it because we've already gone over increased drone strikes over 400%. The guy's a warmonger. And this idiot's out here like, he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. I remember when people argued after Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize, it was actually very controversial for good reason. Because a lot of people were like, hold on, he's literally increasing the troop levels in Afghanistan. Can you really call for a surge in a war and you get the Nobel Peace Prize? And I have a general rule. Look, one simple general rule. In my book, you can't get the Nobel Peace Prize if you've ever called in a drone strike. I'm a simple man. That's a simple rule. I think it's pretty straightforward. So I agreed with the criticism. Obama should have never gotten a Nobel Peace Prize. Never. I think he did some good things, like with the Iran nuclear agreement was phenomenal. Normalizing with Cuba was phenomenal. He has way more bright spots than Trump did on foreign policy. No doubt about it. But if you ever called in a drone strike, you can't get the Nobel Peace Prize. Well, Trump also would attack Obama for that. But now he's like, I deserve it. And these Republican simps are like, he deserves it. Oh my God, they're so shameless. But I'm just getting started, y'all. By the way, shout out to APAC Tracker who lives here. Trump has taken over $230 million from pro-Israel interests. Gee, I wonder why he's in favor of Israel stealing Gaza, annexing the West Bank, in favor of them completing their genocide, bombing civilians on a daily basis. I wonder. I can't quite figure it out. All right, but it gets worse. Ready? So here are things Republicans have proposed since Trump has gotten back in office. There's one proposal to put Trump's face on a $100 bill. Another one to put Trump's face on a $250 bill. Some of them want Trump's face on Mount Rushmore. By the way, most of these, if not all of these, were also official legislation that was proposed. I wish I was making it up. They want Trump's birthday as a federal holiday. And they want to change the Constitution to allow a third term for Trump. So that's 5 bills proposed by Republicans to kiss Trump's ass, and 0 to lower grocery prices. Now, by the way, it's actually not 5, it's 6, because we just talked about the one where he gets an 6 ass-kissing bills. 6 bills where you're treating this guy like an emperor, overlord, god, king, demigod who can do no wrong. Like, they literally want him to be king. Let's just call it what it is. They want him to rule until he passes away. And they might think he's never even going to pass away because they seem to think he is superhuman, right? There's the deification of Trump. Ever since the assassination attempt with the ear bleeding, there really is a movement where they feel like, no, this guy is like superhuman. This guy is like closer to a god than he is to a person. I think a lot of them truly believe it. And Trump himself came out and said, I believe I was saved by God to make America great again. We're talking fascist cult stuff here, guys. This is fascist cult stuff. There's no way around it. And so here's one of the bills, the Golden Age Act, to put Trump on the $100 bill. Could you imagine at the beginning of a second term proposing all these things, knowing full well, hey, you know what could happen, right? Like George W. Bush, he got 2 terms. But what happened? By the time he left office, he had like a 28% approval rating. Dick Cheney was even lower at like 22%. Everybody fucking despised this guy. You couldn't find a George W. Bush bumper sticker on a car anywhere, even though years earlier you could. Because everything went to shit because he was a horrible fucking leader, right? A warmonger, a corrupt person, a horrible leader. Well, Trump's the same. And here you are way out over your skis pretending like this guy is going to be, glorious and beloved. He's already not glorious or beloved. Look at his poll numbers. He's worse than literally every other president in the modern age. Even in his honeymoon period, usually these politicians are like plus 20 in their numbers. He's dead even. So I also got to talk about this guy here, Congressman Brandon Gill. This guy, he's super anti-gay, right? He's done like a bunch of anti-gay pieces of legislation. Big Trump simp. And just look at him. Really? Really, bro? Who do you think you're kidding? When this dude is crafting anti-gay legislation, who do you think you're kidding, bro? Who do you think you're kidding? You think we don't see? Come on, bro. Come on. It's embarrassing. Embrace who you are, dog. Embrace who you are. And stop going after gay people. They did nothing wrong to you. Guys, this is what they're focused on. And again, I need you to remember what they're actually doing right now. What Trump is doing, what Elon's doing, what the Republicans are doing. They just passed a bill to cut Medicaid by $880 billion, cut food stamps by $230 billion. They're taking food out of the mouths of hungry people and axing the healthcare for low-income people and disabled people. We're talking about societal collapse type stuff here. We cannot afford to lose those vital programs. We have a very meager social safety net, and they're trying to kill what's left of it. As they're doing that, you're over here like, let's put Trump on a $1 bill. Let's name bridges after him. Let's pass a law that mandates everybody has to suck him off every Tuesday at 5 p.m. What are you doing? That's to say nothing about all the shit Doge is doing and all the disabled veterans who were screwed and the anti-scam police being killed and the Department of Education being dismantled. That's to say nothing about any of that. So it's going to catch up with them, bro. But this party is pathetic. Like, it's not even a party anymore. It's not. I've heard Chomsky say this in the past, but they're now off the spectrum. The Republican Party is not even a party anymore. They are completely and utterly off the spectrum. They're like a gang of conspiracy theorists and weirdos and extremists and a cult. It's a cult. There's no way around it. So, I mean, again, I think they're going to pay for all this at the ballot box eventually. They really are. I mean, you're already seeing it now, like the backlash to this. But I think they're so deep in that bubble, they really started to believe that like 80% of the country loves Trump or something, right? And that, he says he's doing everything great and making America great again, so I guess he is. Like, I think they're so deep in that bubble, they're so deep in the cult that it's hard for them to fathom that real people are being hurt right now by the policy decisions. Like, people's lives are getting objectively worse, and people are getting furious, and they don't see it. They don't fucking see it. So, there you go. I don't know how I would say it's going to get more humiliating. I don't know how it can get more humiliating. How many more bills coddling this guy's nuts can you release? Is it even possible to come up with more pathetic loser ideas? Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.